This is a Chinese phrase that American soldiers had to learn during World War II. Americans, because the next thing, they are going to join hands with China in a 9-month war against Japan. The bombing. After the bombing, aircraft fuel has just enough for them to crash land in the Chinese Federation. Soon, the USS Hornet carried 16th, 2nd, and 5th bombers, heading in the direction of Japan, but it was 200 kilometers from the planned waters. The Americans spotted a Japanese warship. To prevent them from being exposed, the Americans had to send the bombers ahead of schedule. In this way, there's a good chance the fuel won't last long enough for them to return. So, to be able to carry more fuel and bombs, the pilots dismantled the heavy machine guns, then paint the stick black, instead of machine guns to confuse the Japanese and get everything ready. 16 B-25s took off from the deck in turn. The plane streaked across the coast, fast to Tokyo, Japan. Shells were hurled at the Japanese with American fury. Arsenal. The Japanese also tasted the smell of being bombed. However, this is just the beginning. Then the Americans bombed the densely populated cities of Japan. That's when the Japanese woke up. They fired back at the American aircraft overhead. To avoid Japanese anti-aircraft fire, the American planes raised their altitude. They quickly withdrew from the skies over Japan after the bombing. The following, from 1944 to 1945, in all, the United States flew 330,000 bombers, conducted an 8-month survey of 98 major cities in Japan. Mad face. But in spite of that, the Emperor of Japan still refused to surrender. The Americans were angry. Don't surrender. I'll throw you a little something to hide. So August the 6th. 1945, the United States dropped one called Little Boy on the Japanese city of Hiroshima, the atomic bomb. After the atomic bomb was dropped, it exploded 600 meters above the ground. The sky over Hiroshima suddenly lit up with a bright light. Subsequent, it was a deafening explosion. Immediately, a huge mushroom cloud soared into the air. The shock wave from a nuclear explosion is mixed with temperatures of over 6,000 degrees. In an instant, the Japanese at close range were reduced to ashes. The bomb directly killed over 80,000 people. There are more than 50,000 Japanese dead and injured and missing. But here's what the Americans didn't expect. Japan still won't surrender much. The Emperor of Japan is from the United States. There was only one atomic bomb. The United States she asked. Then I'll give you what you want. I'll get you another one. So, 3 days later, the United States dropped a second one named Fat Man on